All of the politicians had such a lovely time at their first meeting that they agreed to have another party exactly like it. Why not? And why not? Everyone loves a party. Right after the battles of Lexington and Concord, being men of great imagination, they called this the Second Continental Congress. Mwahaha! It was the Congress responsible for writing the Declaration of Independence and forming the Continental Army with George Washington as its commander. So despite their lack of flair for titles, they clearly had some thinkers among them. The Third Continental Congress convened in 1781. It's sometimes known as the Congress of Confederation. Despite how mind-achingly tedious that sounds, they were responsible for forming a government for the brand new United States. And since getting everyone to agree on how the government should work took some time, the Confederation Congress met over the course of 8 years, ending in 1789, when the Constitution passed and they were replaced by the United States government. Now, I've been in some long meetings, but 8 years takes the biscuit. I pay whoever was recording the minutes. It took 8 years to ratify the Constitution because nobody could agree on it. And even then, it barely passed as it was. Wait, what's this guy?
Still here, are you?
Oh, it's Sam.
I was just wondering, what happens now?
There's quite a lot to do. Commander Washington must determine when and where we'll strike next. And we need to get to work on our message.
Message?
We must contact the broadsheets at once. Ensure it's clear to everyone that it was the Loyalists who fired first in Lexington.
But no one knows who fired first.
Which is exactly why we must spread the news quickly. We'll determine public opinion.
This seems dishonest.
Perhaps.
Propaganda.
So what?
It's the only way to
People
do.
must believe we acted in self-defense, else we've committed treason.
But you have.
Better to bow and scrape before a tyrant, then? Is that what you suggest?
No, of course not. No one should be denied freedom. And yet, to change the truth, it seems a dangerous road to travel.
Understand, Connor. This is a war fought not just on the battlefield, but within hearts and minds as well. There's nothing wrong with a bit of theater, especially if it saves lives.
Alright. True, that's what they've been doing now for the longest. So now I'm in Philadelphia? Sweet. More than one city. We're spreading out. If it ever loads. Yeah, it's probably going to do a lot of loading. Oh no, Scotch Plains. Never mind. Oh, what's that? You wanted to explore a new town? Oh well, too bad for you. The Siege of Boston. April 19th to March 17th, 1776. The Siege of Boston began right after the battles of Lexington and Concord. The colonial militia who had gathered to stop the British raids followed the British army to Boston and camped outside, bottling British troops and their loyalist allies in the city. At the time, Boston was a peninsula attached to the mainland by a thin strip of land known as the Boston Neck. With this blocked, land access to the city was cut off. The siege lasted most of a year with only one major battle, Bunker Hill. But as with most sieges, it took a toll on the city of Boston. There were shortages, particularly of firewood, and many buildings were torn down to be used as fuel. Of course, the British targeted any rebel-associated buildings for destruction. As a result, things like the Liberty Tree and the pews from the Old South Meeting House ended up inside a fireplace. The siege ended shortly after the rebels attacked and fortified Dorchester Heights to the south of Boston, giving them the ability to fire on the harbor. Boston's governor decided to evacuate rather than fight. On March 17th, Loyalist ships sailed out of the city. March 17th is now known as Evacuation Day, and it is a holiday in some parts of Massachusetts. The fact that it is also St. Patrick's Day is mere coincidence. Although it is said that in ancient Gaelic, evacuation means drinking as many pints as possible and being sick in a bin, so you never know. What way does this lead to? This travels to Boston. I declined. Oh, here we go. I don't know why they had to reload the entire area. More sync points. What's this? Delivery request. Frontiersman. Treasure. Homestead. Oh, I'm back in the homestead, apparently. Why does this have to be a separate screen now? The Second Continental Congress. We just read about this. No reason for me to read about something I just gave a brief summary for in a little more detail. Sorry, I think I'm doing enough reading already. More reading than assassinating, but that is. Stop sprinting to let it recover. Greenpeace Hills. This is very similar to Red Dead Redemption style hunting. I wonder if they had people from Red Dead work on this. Where is this waypoint? This big tree? Let me get it. I haven't done any viewpoints, man. I haven't done anything. This game has a very different style way of going about this kind of stuff. Where is it? Oh, I have to climb more. Something I usually don't see in an Assassin's Creed game. Their way of going about this stuff. This isn't it. I think I need to go up. What the hell? Oh, you're kidding me. It's glitched. No, stop. Stop! This is stupid. Can I just climb the goddamn tree? No. No. This way. I don't know if it's because the horse is right here, which is annoying because you can never tell the horse to stop following you. Thank you. Oh, look, there was a different way I didn't see before. That's why. Completely worthless part of the tree. So where is the waypoint? Over there? Oh, fuck! Well, at least he landed with no problem. I don't get the fall damage in this game. It's very weird. Sometimes you do fall, other times you don't. They say it's back there, back like over this way. Let me just go as high as I can first before I do anything. Oh, you swing around. See, this looks so weird. Are you ever gonna swing? There you go. Is good enough? Nope. This it? Ugh. Now that was frustrating. Oh, and there's no hay. So I die. Are you It's not even worth doing viewpoints in this game. They killed it. They honestly killed it. I'm not doing any more viewpoints in the Frontier. They ruined that system. What's this? Daniel Boone. Why does that sound familiar? The boy who cried wolf.
We was 8 months in the Kentucky frontier trapping and skinning elk. Well along.
Yeah, I think Daniel Boone was a hunter.
No less Then a dozen Shawnee hunters had us surrounded at the point of musket and arrow. My bush partner froze up stiff. The fear chilled me the same, but I managed to muster what little Shawnee I was knowing. The leader spoke too quick, but I gathered we was poaching, having crossed into their territory a month or so hence. Their musket barrels stared us down, the heads of their arrows smiling sharp at our backs. I bumbled a proposition and busted Shawnee. Our full piece, my 3 bales, and my partner's 2 less a half, in exchange for us quitting the Shawnee bush on our own legs. Leader nods to his boys. They load up our take and start back into the trees. The honcho stays a spell longer, just staring right through us with his 2 black eyes. And then he was gone. We picked up, set back east the way we came. Months of profit lost, but our own hides intact. Never saw the Shawnee again, but I know they was following us. I could feel their eyes on our backs, clear to North Carolina.
What a fantastic tale. Alright, goodbye. What an amazing tale. Oh, here we go.
Hold and state your bit.
What the fuck are you gonna do? Conflict looms.
I'm looking for Israel Putnam.
On whose orders?
Samuel Adams.
It's forged. I don't believe it.
Me.
I don't believe this bullshit. Alright, so are we ready for the siege of Boston?
This is not Bunker Hill.
Aye, it's Breed. There's been some disagreement as to where we should encamp.
Any news from Boston?
The Tories are...
The Battle of Bunker Hill. June 17, 1775. Bunker Hill was one of the first battles of the Revolutionary War. Technically, the rebels lost, but it was a Pyrrhic victory for the British. Let me set this up a bit. There were 2 places where rebel forces would have been able to mount attacks on British-occupied Boston. One was the Charleston Peninsula to the north. The other was Dorchester Heights to the south. When rumors started that the British were going to fortify the hills around Charleston, the rebels decided to act. By which I mean do something, not put on a little play. Oh, whoops. Spoilers! On the night of June 16, 1775, troops under the command of William Prescott sneaked onto the peninsula, occupied Bunker Hill, and built fortification on Breed's Hill. It was a tactically terrible choice. Breed's Hill was easier for enemies to climb, much more open to attack, and close enough to the British ships in the harbor to come under fire. In fact, Prescott's orders were to fortify Bunker Hill. It's uncertain why he made the switch. Maybe he had a little trouble with B words, like bunker and breeds. He probably thought he was fighting against the Belgians, not the Brits. Unfortunately for the rebel army, it seemed the British were almost as tactically inept as they were. When General Howe landed troops at Moulton's Hill, he waited for reinforcements rather than attacking immediately. This gave the rebel forces time to shore up their fortifications. When Howe did finally attack, he divided his forces, expecting the disorganized rebel army to fall before him, which it didn't. In fact, the British forces attacked and retreated twice before winning the day, after they received more reinforcements and the rebels were mostly out of ammunition. The casualty reports are telling. 228 British soldiers dead, including many of their officers, and more than 800 injured. On the rebel side, 301 injuries and only 140 deaths. The Continental Army had shown they could hold their own against the better trained British Army, and it's hard to say which side was more surprised by that. It still surprises me to this day! Boy, his anti-American quotes are so touching, so telling. Just suck it up. You lost a war, we'll suck up Vietnam, buddy. Just face it, the British lost this war, and we lost Vietnam later, so it's all good. Now, I can't even keep up with this guy. They're not letting me gallop. I don't know why they disable the gallop sometimes.
Putnam's just up ahead.